First point in your bulletin there, fix your eyes on your foundation. Remember that God knows, He cares, and He rules. We get this from verses 27 and 28 here in Isaiah chapter 40. Let's read those together. Why do you say, O Jacob, and speak, O Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord, and my right is disregarded by my God? Have you not known? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He does not grow faint or grow weary. His understanding is unsearchable. What Isaiah is saying is his purpose and his plan for you will not be thwarted. It's for your good and for his glory. Isaiah is saying, he's saying, pay attention to every attribute that I have just listed. Keeping this in mind, how could you even consider the fact that God has turned his back on you and forgotten you? He doesn't get tired. He doesn't get worn out. And he knows more than we could ever dream. Yes. Psalm 147:5 supports this and says, great is our Lord and abundant in power. His understanding is beyond measure. In this world, we measure knowledge in many different ways. I mean, our measurement of knowledge starts when we're 3 years old and goes all the way up through school and work and everything in between. But his understanding is beyond measure. His knowledge is beyond measure. There is no test that God can take because he knows it all and more. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 says this, and I am sure of this, that he who began a great work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. The work has begun in us, and at no point is he going to turn his back on us. At no point is he going to forget us. Keep that in mind. Raise your hand if you kind of sort of know the story of Job from the Old Testament. That's a popular one in the Old Testament, and it's one of the crazier stories. The first couple chapters in Job are just mind-blowing. What I want to do is I just want to horribly paraphrase the beginning of the story of Job, and it points to our main point here. Through a super fascinating conversation between Satan and God, God actually kind of brags about Job a little bit, and it says, Satan, you've been all over the earth. Have you ever seen my servant Job? He is the man. He is blameless. He is upright, and he fears God and turns away from evil. Satan looks at God and goes, well, duh, you've given him everything. He's super rich. He's got lots of property. He's got lots of kids. He has everything. You've never tested him in any way. Why would he waver in his faith? And God says, all right, I hear what you're saying. If you want to try your hand at hurting him, go right ahead. Just don't hurt his health. Satan goes big with this. He goes real big. And within a very short time, we see that the Sabaeans come and they steal all of Job's oxen and donkeys. And they kill all the servants involved there except one who can come and deliver the message. Right after that, a fire comes and destroys all of Job's sheep and all of the servants too, minus one who can come and deliver the message. Right after that, all of Job's sons and daughters happen to be dining in one house, and a great wind comes up and takes out the house, killing all of Job's kids in one fell swoop, killing all the servants in there as well, except one who comes back and delivers the message. Through this, Job worshiped the Lord and did not sin against him. Satan and God, they convene once again, and Satan insists that if Job lost his health, he would lose his faith. So God gives Satan permission, but asks that Job's life be spared. Job is just instantly covered in these horrible boils and sores, and he's made to be so uncomfortable that only a piece of broken pottery that he uses to scratch himself gives him any relief. It gets so bad that Job's wife even steps up and said, "Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Why don't you just curse God and die? Job's wife often gets a bad rap for this. And while I hold, and we talked about this in staff meeting, while I hold to the fact that it's never okay for any of us to say curse God and die, is it okay if we take a minute and just give some understanding to what Job's wife is going through right now? It's one thing to take a woman's possessions. It's one thing to take wealth, property, that sort of thing. But to take all of her kids, that must have been horrible for her. And then to see her husband sitting there in such horrible pain, barely clinging to life and finding no relief. It's almost like she looks at Job and says, I'm actually going to give you permission to quit. I'm giving you permission as your wife to just die and be done. But through it all, Job did not sin with his lips. He kept his eyes focused on his foundation and understood that God knows, he cares, and he rules in the good times and in the bad.